Let us now find out the second KCL equation. So let's say that KCL at node 2. Let us see what is going to be KCL at node 2. Because there are three branches, we will define three outgoing currents once again. This is current number 1, this is current number 2. But instead of defining outgoing current in this middle branch, because there's already a current source here with the direction that is incoming to node 2, I will not disturb that direction, so I'll define incoming current. So sum of outgoing currents will be on one side, that will be this current will be V2 minus V1 upon 2 plus this current will be nothing but V2 upon 5, and incoming current is the current source which has the value of 4, so 4 comes on the other side. If you simplify this, it will be minus V1 by 2 plus V2 common, the constants will be half plus 1 by 5 equal to 4, and this will give me the overall second equation, which is minus 0.5 V1 plus 0.7 V2 equal to 4. So that's my second equation in the form of V1 and V2. So because I've got two equations, I can always solve them and find out the values. So let's say solving 1 and 2. If I solve 1 and 2, I'll get V1 and V2. These are the two equations. You can solve them simultaneously in your calculator. So once you solve, you get V1 equal to 2.299 volts and V2 will be equal to 7.356 volts. But once again, we were not looking for V1 and V2. What we were looking for is I2. You can see that I2 is nothing but current through 10 ohm resistance flowing from node 1 towards the ground. So I2 will be V1 upon 10. So we get I2 as V1 upon 10. V1 is nothing but 2.299 upon 10 will make it 0.299 amperes. So we have got I1 and I2 both. And so now the last step will be, I'll call it step number 3. So step 3 will be nothing but to apply superposition theorem. So we say that according to superposition theorem, the total current I will be nothing but I1 plus I2, and I1 that we have got in previous step is equal to 0.8046, and I2 we have got as 0.299. So if I add them, I get the total current I, which is 1.1036 amperes. So that's my final answer for current I. And in this case, we have obviously used superposition theorem. We found I1 only due to the voltage source, I2 due to the current source, and then we add the two values, we get the total value of I. So likewise, say for example, if we have three sources given in the original circuit, this is how my original circuit looks like. Suppose if there were three sources given, then we would have to do three different steps considering each source active in one step and find the corresponding value of the voltage or current. At the end, we get three values and we add all the three values together. So that gives us the overall value of that particular variable. So this is superposition theorem. It's very simple to apply. The solutions will be little lengthy because each step is like solving one particular circuit, but something very simple in terms of its approach. In the individual steps, when you find the value of voltage or current due to any one source being active, you can use any method of analysis, either mesh analysis or nodal analysis. Obviously, you can always simplify the circuits also by using series parallel combination of resistors, star delta transformation, source transformation, etc. You can apply potential division rule, current division rules, and sometimes you may bring the original circuit down to a very simple circuit of single resistance and single source, and you can find the value simply by using Ohm's law.